Hello, this is Barack Hussein, who is insane Obama but not as insane and stupid as this motherfucker on my left, reading for you Osman spares the Book of Pleasure Part to be mystic. Others believe in prayer have not all yet learned that to ask it to be denied. Let it be the root of your gospel, O ye who are living other people's lives. Unless desire is subconscious, it is not fulfilled. No, not in this life. Then verily sleep is better than prayer. Quiescence is hidden desire, a form of not asking. By it the female obtains much from man. Utilize prayer, if you must pray, as a means of exhaustion, and by that you will obtain your desire. Some do much to show the similarity of different religions. Certainly by it I prove the possibility of a fundamental illusion, but that they never realize or this ukase they are the mockery, for how much they regret. They suffer more conflict than the unenlightened. With what they can identify their own delusion of fear they call truth. They never see the similarity in the quintessence of religions, their own poverty of imagination and religion's palliation. Better is it to show the essential difference of religions. It is as well to know that various means is not their object to deceive and govern. Surely then, for the attainment of the transcendental, God and religion should have no place. Some praise truth so-called, but give it many containers. Forgetting its dependence they prove its relationship and paradox. The song of experience and illusion. Paradox is not truth, but the truth that anything can be true for a time. What supersedes paradox in its implicit, not necessary. I will make the foundation of my teaching. Let us determine the deliberative. The truth cannot be divided. Self-love only cannot be denied, and is self-love as such when paradoxical, under any condition. Hence it alone is truth. Without accessories complete. Others praise ceremonial magic, and are supposed to suffer much ecstasy. Our asylums are crowded. The stage is overrun. Is it by symbolizing we become the symbolized? Were I to crown myself king, should I be king? Rather should I be an object of disgust or pity. These magicians, whose insincerity is their safety, are but the unemployed dandies of the brothels. Magic is but one's natural ability to attract without asking. Ceremony what is unaffected, its doctrine the negation of theirs. I know them well, and their creed of learning that teaches the fear of their own light. One vampires, they are as the very lice in attraction. Their practices prove their incapacity. They have no magic to intensify the normal, the joy of a child or a healthy person, none to evoke their pleasure or wisdom from themselves. One, their methods depending on a morass of the imagination and a chaos of conditions. Their knowledge obtained with less decency than the hyena his food. I say they are less free and do not obtain the satisfaction of the meanest among animals. Self-condemned in their disgusting fatness, their emptiness of power, without even the magic of personal charm or beauty, they are offensive in their bad taste and mongering for advertisement. The freedom of energy is not obtained by its bondage, great power not by disintegration. Is it not because our energy, or mind stuff, is already overbound and divided, that we are not capable, let alone magical? Some believe any and everything is symbolic, and can be transcribed, and explain the occult, but of what they do not know. Great spiritual truths. So argument a metaphor, cautiously confusing the obvious which develops the hidden virtue. This unnecessary corpulency, however impressive, is it not disgusting? The elephant is exceeding large but extremely powerful. The swine, though odious, does not breed the contempt of our good taste. If a man is no hero to his servant, much less can he remain a mystic in the eyes of the curious. Similarity educates, mimic or decorate your meaning, however objectionable, as fact. After you have shown your honesty, truth, though simple, never needs the argument of confusion for obscurity. Its own pure symbolism embraces all possibilities as mystic design. Take your stand in common sense and you include the truth which cannot lie. No argument has yet prevailed. Perfect proportion suggests no alteration, and what is useless decays. They reject all the modern symbolism one and reach an absurd limit very early, not counting on change too, and, at times, the arbitrary nature of symbolism, or the chance of a preserved folly, by their adoption of the traditional without a science, as having reading to the present. Their symbolism is chaotic and meaningless. Not knowing the early rendering, they succeed in projecting their own meagreness by this confusion, as explaining the ancient symbols. Children are more wise. This conglomeration of antiquity decayed, collected with the disease of greed, is surely the chance for charity? forgetting trumpery ideas. Learn the best tradition by seeing your own functions in the modern unbiased. Some praise the belief in a moral doctrinal code, which they naturally and continually transgress, and never obtain their purpose. Given the right nature, they succeed fairly in their own governing, and are those most healthy, sane and self-pleased. It may be called the negation of my doctrine. They obtain tolerable satisfaction, whereas mine is complete. Let him tarry here, who is not strong for the great work. In freedom he might be lost, so fledge your wings fearlessly, ye humble ones. 1. All means of locomotion, machinery, governments, institutions, and everything essentially modern, is vital symbolism of the workings of our mind, etc. 2. The symbol of justice known to the Romans is not symbolic of divine, or our justice, at least not necessarily or usually. The vitality is not exactly like water, nor are we trees, more like ourselves, which might incidentally include trees somewhere unlearned, much more obvious in our workings at present. Others say knowledge only is eternal. It is the eternal illusion of learning, the ukase of learning what we already know. Directly we ask ourselves, how, we induce stupidity. Without this conception, what is there we could not know and accomplish? Others for concentration. It will not free you. The mind conceiving the law is bondage. Arrived at that, you will want a concentration, dissociation from all ideas but one is not released but imaginative fulfillment, or the fury of creation. Others again, that all things are emanations of the divine spirit, as rays from the sun, hence the need of emancipation. Verily, things are of necessity through their conception and belief. Then let us destroy or change conception, and empty the belief. These and many other doctrines are declared by me as the perpetuators of sin and illusion, each and all depending on a muddled implication, obscuring, yet evolved from the duality of the consciousness for their enjoyment. In fear they would vomit hot blood were they to see the fruits of their actions and pleasures. Thus, believing in widely different doctrines, they are of the dual principle, necessary parasites on each other, like drugs on the surgeon's knife. They only annul or at best remove an effect. They do not change or remove the fundamental cause, the law. Oh, God, thou art a stagnant environment. All is quackery. These religions, whose very existence depend on their failure, are so full of misery and confusion, have only multiplied arguments, as full of arguments as they are evil, so crowded with non-essentials. Being so barren of any free pleasure in this life or another, I cannot uphold their doctrines, their criterion for enjoyment death. Better it were a man renounce them all, and embrace his own invincible purpose. He cannot go further, and this is his only release. By it he may put his pleasure where he will, and find satisfaction, and so in death part to. But before I go, I shall leave you with a nugget of wisdom from the Logomachiozos. All pleasures eventually equalize. Their difference is of duration and degree. When certain pleasures are constant, we naturally strive for their preservation. Hence to me a large fat woman's bottom is spacious and spatial. I know nothing better, so why should I disavow or transfer to love of God, or anything else? I am loving God via a fat ars all true appreciation of the abstract as through other things. Better this, than acquiesce by faith and non-inferential's actuality, like belief, is asserted by feeling. So the soul loveth all who loveth him through those things he maketh. He who appreciates my work, be ye mystic fuckers. Be ye mystic.